Hi, here I am outside the St. Joseph's Maronite Catholic Parish in Croydon. The day's Sunday, the 11th of April. I am just about to witness and go into my first Maronite Mass, and I will report back to you after it finishes. I have just experienced my first Maronite Mass, and I have to say I really did enjoy it. After the Mass had finished, I spoke to Father and I asked him some questions, and I asked him about the differences between the beliefs of the Maronite Catholic Church and the Roman Catholic Church. His response was that there are no differences in beliefs, in the theology. There's just the differences in the way they practice the beliefs. I also asked him, do you think that the history is important to keep the faith in their faith? And his response was that yes, it was, and they have a very good history. And he told me about Saint Maron, who was the founder of the Maronites. Before the Mass had started, there was only about 50 people in the church, and they were only saying the Rosary, and then once they were saying all the Rosary, all the decades. Once it had finished, there was no break. The Mass just started straight after the Rosary. In the Mass, most things were sung, and on the screen, on the projector, there was writing in English and Arabic, but some parts of the Mass were spoken in Syriac and Arabic, even though the Mass was an English Mass. I also asked Father, wherever you go in the world, if there is a Maronite Catholic Church, there will be a Mass in that language of the country. So in Australia here, there is English, so there will be a Mass in English. I also noticed that people go to confession while the Mass is going, while Father is speaking. There was a huge line that I was sitting next to, and it was going even after Mass. With the prayer of the faithful, they happen after the ceremony of peace, and which in us is where we shake hands and say peace be with you. But with them, the Father says a blessing into his prayer-shaped hands, then passes it on like that to the deacons, and then the deacons pass it on through the rows, and that's how the peace ceremony begins. There is no presentation of the wine, water, or bread. The wine, water, and bread are just up on the altar. And then the priest places the bread straight into your mouth. There is no, you do not receive it into your hands. He just places it into your mouth. And then at the end of the Mass, I noticed that some people were leaving before the priest started leaving, and I thought that was pretty intriguing as well. Yeah, so that's what I noticed from the Mass, and I hope you enjoyed the video.